Welcome back, Rivals. This is Xonia, and you are in the zone. Today, we're going to be taking a look at our news for the last 2 weeks. Again, I want to try and keep this short and sweet, so let's get straight into it. We've only got two main things we're going to look at. Again, whenever you want to find these, you go up here to Community and then hit Forum, and then you're going to want to go to Staff's Announcements. And so we've got a whole bunch here. The first one I want to highlight this week was the Hungry Ocean event that happened this last week. I actually really liked this event. There were a few problems that happened with it, which many of you know, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But the main idea was basically do 3 missions, and you would end up with a kind of very specific, cool new card called Streex. Kind of based off of what I believe Street Sharks was, an awesome 90s cartoon. Basically 8-4 with the +2 power bonus, and then +1 life per damage with no max. If you'll notice, this card's actually a lot like Dragomir, except he's going to have 1 less power. He's going to be a little bit more affected by bonuses as well. And so essentially Dragomir is better than Streex, and so that's why I believe Dragomir has that max and Streex does not. Because in certain situations, it's going to be much, much more advantageous to have Dragomir than Streex. And in fact, Dragomir will beat Streex straight up as well. So, when it comes right down to it, basically this is an amazing card though, don't push it away. This may help to make T2 a little more popular for Ulu Watu. Who knows, we'll see. And then, basically in order to do this, there were 3 missions you needed to do. So, the first mission number 1 was a garage sale where you basically had to sell off all of your old cards, and one problem that a lot of people ended up running into was that they would go to their missions. They go to their missions here, and they were checking to see if it was open, and I'm not going to show you the flash missions. It was in your flash missions, but basically a lot of these had trouble unlocking, and one of the things that we usually did was, you sell a card to Kate or pretend to the market, or you also could try and play a few matches in order to unlock it, and it was having issues with that, and sometimes you would need a moderator or an admin to come through and unstick your mission, but even that did not work sometimes. And a lot of people were not doing basically the one most important thing to do for something like this, which is to check and make sure it's actually unlocked. I know that this is silly and you really shouldn't have to deal with this. We're sorry that you have to do this, guys. I mean, I don't like it either, but if your mission does not have this progress bar on it, do not assume that the mission is unlocked. Do not assume it. Otherwise, you're going to lose the cards. A lot of people sold 10 of their cards and then didn't get anything for it because they just assumed that it was unlocked. You cannot do this. We've been having troubles like this in UR for quite a while now, actually, with some of these missions, and so it's really surprising to me that people actually didn't bother to check and make sure that their mission was unlocked. So I'm really sorry if it did happen to you. Obviously there's no excuse for that, but also, come on guys, use common sense. If it's not showing this bar, it's not unlocked. So if it still says unlockable, you've got to find a way to get it unlocked, and don't just sell your cards. It's crazy to me. Anyway, because I had issues at the beginning as well too, and I waited until my bar was available and I didn't lose any of my cards. They were very specific cards, you could sell them off. Anyway, once you did that, that was actually pretty easy. My reward was a Gaia RB, so it was a pretty decent card if you could sell those off. What this has also done now is it's made the old cards more kind of valuable because there are far less of them for people who are trying to get through this mission. And so this is a really great way for them to kind of get rid of the old cards and make them more valuable, which I think is really cool. We've also got mission 2, you've got a bite, 400 damage in ELO. Really, that was no issue. I went through and I ended up doing it with La Junta, and I ended the week with like 1090 ELO, so I even got my ELO bonus for that, but that was really simple. And then mission 3 was just 1 KO with Wooly in Survivor, which is super easy. So that was really good, and once you did that, you would be able to get a hold of Streex. He is still not available in packs yet, though I'm assuming he will be soon enough. So this is a really awesome card. If you've got him, kudos to you. I did manage to pick up 1 copy, but if you did not, then you'll just have to wait until the packs come out. Sorry if there were issues, but overall, I really liked this. I thought this was a really good idea, and I hope you continue to try and do more of this in the future. Just make sure that we've got everything working well for those missions. And I know you wanted to try something new, and I think it was a really good move. It just didn't pan out this time, and I hope everybody gives you a little more slack than a lot of them have been. And then finally, the only other thing I wanted to talk about was the staff announcement, the general notice that they posted. And many of you who have been following my channel already knew this, that they've been going through a little bit of difficulty. I did mention that they had kind of switched over the official managers here to Saga and Gorillion. So that's been for 2 months now. And so a lot of you, I think, already knew that who've watched my channel. But if you didn't see the announcement when I did mention this before in one of my weekly updates, you can now see they've told you basically everything. And some people have criticized them, which I think is really stupid, for being so transparent, as if it's going to drive people away, when there's been an overwhelmingly positive number of people who have said that they want to support the game and continue keeping it going, which is really good. I just think that this was a really good move as well, because a lot of, like, over the last 2 years, we've been basically screaming at the admins to be more transparent, tell us what's going on, give us more information. And so when someone in the comments is like, it was a really bad move to tell us what was going on, I just think that that's counterproductive, trollish, absolutely stupid to say, when every single person has been telling them to be more transparent. And so they finally have. Thank you very much, MacLeod. Obviously, this is a different person. This is the first time I've actually seen MacLeod post anything as an admin. So I don't know if he's a new one that they've brought in or what, but I'm really happy to see this post from him. It was very, very helpful. It was great to read all of the comments in here as well of how many people really want to make sure this game continues. And I think I speak for the community as well, where if you need more time, please take it. Please take it. It's okay. A lot of the people who are still here are very loyal to you, and we love this game. We've been coming back for years. Of course, we would love you to listen to what we had to say, but ultimately this is your game, and we are playing it, and we have to accept whatever it is that you've done. And I think that's one of the reasons I'm a mod, not just because I want to say everything you're doing is right. I don't like all the decisions that they make, but you know what? People make mistakes, and you're not going to like everything that happens anyway, and so you basically just have to get over it. And trust that these guys are actually trying to do what's best for the game. I mean, this is their job. I mean, if you think about this, we as a player base, this is their job. If they don't do well, then they get no money. So obviously they want this to go well. They're not going to just make this go very poorly, obviously. So we just have to trust that they have a vision, and then we have to let them go that direction and do our best to support them in doing that. And that doesn't mean that we shouldn't say anything when we disagree, but as with most things, it's not what you say, it's how you say it, and a lot of people are just downright rude in the way that they write their comments and their suggestions. And so if you want people to listen to you, make friends and influence people, you can't be a jerk. You can't be a complete idiot. So, as always, if there's something you see that you don't like, I really, as a mod, I encourage you to say something in the forums. But I encourage you to do it in a very constructive, positive way, and offer some kind of suggestion if you can, and then realize that, it may not happen, but they actually do. I believe that they actually do read the posts that we give them. I mean, anyway, so that's enough on that. So some pretty big developments. A lot of people think that this is like breaking news, where this has actually been over the last few months. So nothing really new here, I think, for most of us here on my channel. Anyway, I think it was really great to see this, and I'm looking forward to see what they do from here on. So, as always, I'm going to continue trying to make these videos for you, but they will be at a slower pace, most likely from now on. So I'm sorry about that, but you will definitely still be getting at least the New Blood updates and these kind of weekly whatevers. And then if I've got time, I will try to get some more gameplay stuff put up for you guys whenever I can. And of course, I do want to do more of those clan reviews, but they are very lengthy and time involved, and so we'll just have to see when that happens. Anyway, thanks again for watching, guys. If you really like this video, make sure to hit that like button. If you absolutely loved it, then make sure to share it with your friends. And as always, don't forget to subscribe for more of my Urban Rivals videos. This is Xonia, and you are in the zone.